All right, round one, playing first. Let's see here. We've got blue, we've got our red. Don't have our white yet, but I am going to keep this hand because we've got a 2-drop red, 2 of our 3 colors, and a morph guy, so any source can get him morphed in. I think it's worth keeping. I am going to need a white source at some point to be victorious, but I'm hoping that works out for us. Hey, there it is. All right. So we don't have to show it just yet. We could still be a teamer deck. Although I guess playing the Leaping Master is usually a pretty good indication that your opponent is Jeskai. Okay, green-blue, so we could be looking at teamer. We could also be looking at Sultai. Either or. Well, I guess this presents a little bit of a dilemma. The dilemma being I can play Canyon Lurkers this turn, or I could play the Tranquil Cove and guarantee the High Spire Mantis next turn. But I think the correct thing to do is still play the Canyon Lurkers because if we draw a 4th source of untapped land, we can either play the Mantis or attack in with Lurkers and unmorph it. So I still think at this point, just getting dudes on board is going to be best for us. Go ahead and F6. All right, Sultai. Question has been answered. All right. We're on the offensive, so certainly going to be attacking into that. So ideally, we get a untapped land here. And see if we do not, but that's okay. So let's just swing for the fences right away. Although I guess I'm not using my mana. I almost feel like I'd rather him block my Leaping Master anyway. Like I could give it flying and fly over this morph, but I think I would rather lose my Master than my Canyon Lurkers at this point. So had I played the Tranquil Cove last turn, I'd be able to drop a High Spire Mantis this turn, but we still got in the damage with Canyon Lurkers, so I don't know. It's tough for me to say if that worked out better or worse for me. All right. Get to attack into that too, which is nice. All right. So we swing again. No blocks. So I could unmorph and deal 7 damage to him, which would have him. It would probably leave him on the defensive. I am pretty tempted to play the High Spire Mantis this turn, though. But I can see the argument against it. Getting in 5 points of damage here is pretty nice. it would, yeah, dealing 7 to him is pretty huge. It does pretty much eat up my turn in its entirety, although it does open me up for a nice rush of battle next turn, because then I'm almost positive he's going to leave back his morph dudes. It's going to force him to do some blocking. I think I'm going to drop the High Spire Mantis, mostly because the rush of battle next turn seems so good. Plus it gives me a flyer in case he drops something on the ground that I can't deal with. So I think the factors that ultimately led to me not unmorphing and playing the Mantis is me having Rush of Battle and 2 Warden of the Eyes in hand, and just getting a flying dude out there in case he just leaves back his morph to block. Like if he leaves back his morphs to block now, it's pretty safe to assume that one of these is the Abomination. So you know, the 3/4 flyer. So playing Rush of Battle on my next turn is still going to force some sort of play out of him, possibly an awkward blocking situation. I can also continue to commit to the board and then build towards my Rush of Battle, but I do have to admit that right now, as the way it looks, Rush of Battle seems like a really good play on my next turn. All right. So we're just going to Rush a Battle and get in, I think. Although, I guess the 2/5 is pretty significant there. He can block and kill my Leaping Master. He clearly doesn't have an attack here. I guess if he does attack with something, then I just know that it's a Ruthless Ripper. Or that he's doing an amazing, you know, an amazing play where he's fooling me. Could be that too. All right, well, a little bit of a sticky situation, I guess. A little stickier than I originally thought. I can swing with Canyon Lurkers and High Spire Mantis. That way, if he blocks the morph there, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to swing Mantis and Lurkers. See if he blocks the Archers on the Lurkers, in which case I'll unmorph and kill the Archers. So my Mantis still gets in. Or he can just trade a morph, and then I can do a post-combat play. So I think this is fine. All right. Well, we're definitely unmorphing now. If he's going to let me get in 5 points of damage here, I'm going to take it. All right. Wind Scout. Still has Force Away mana up. Pretty important to keep in mind. He also has the Bird possibly open here. I'm a little curious why he's attacking with Morph. I'm going to take it. Rush of Battle seems really good now. All right, so if I have Rush of Battle and he plays Force Away, he's going to play it on my lurkers. I guess it does feel like there's a pretty good chance. I mean, there's really no reason for him to attack if he didn't have Force Away that I can think of. Let's just bring low his Wind Scout. I just feel like he's got bounce. So if I bring low the Wind Scout and swing with the lurkers, the Mantis, and the Master, he'll bounce the lurkers, block the Master, and take 3 and go to 2. Or alternatively, block the Mantis and take 2, but it seems much more likely to just kill the Master. Let's bring low the Wind Scout. I want to do that. Because I don't want him to double block my Mantis and then kill it. So I kind of want that option to be off the table. I'm almost positive he's got Force Away. It just seems a little bit too obvious. And if he doesn't have Force Away, I think the Aven only costs 2 to unmorph, so one of these could just be the Aven, in which case he could bounce as well. So I think my attack's just going to be Lurkers and Mantis to play it safe. If he had nothing, it would be lethal to swing with everything. Keep that in mind. If I swung team, he would be if he had nothing, which I don't believe he does. I really do believe he's got Force Away. If I swung with everything, he could block the lurkers and take 5, or that's it. So it just seems like it just seems super likely that he's got the Force Away. So I'm just going to swing with these 2. It may seem wrong to you because it's kind of a dangerous. It's basically giving him it's giving him the benefit of what the hell? All right, well, I definitely wasn't expecting that. So I guess I was wrong that he didn't have Force Away or a guy that could bounce. He did have the Abomination, so why was he swinging with it? That was just everything about that concession is odd. Every single thing about it. There's not one part of that concession that makes sense to me. But I appreciate that he did it. I was wrong. He didn't have Force Away. He didn't have the bounce effect on board. So it actually would have been lethal had I swung with everything. So that was definitely just an incorrect hunch on my part. So I'm sure I'll be hearing about that when I have a hunch and it's incorrect. People love to mention that, and then when I have a hunch but I do it anyway, and then the hunch is right, people are like, should have gone with your gut, man. So I love the duality of that. It always struck me as really funny. So does Smite seem better against this guy? Let's see. Does Smite seem very good against this guy? Won't kill Abomination. Will kill his 1,000 elementals guy or whatever. It doesn't seem worth it for that, though. So let's just keep the Bring Low around. Although Bring Low doesn't kill the Abomination either. Abomination's like 3-4 is the worst number against our removal suit here. Anything I want to bring in? Anything I want to change? Skuldkin's a flyer, but he's got flyers too. Yeah, I guess we'll just keep it the same for now. Oh, he got stuck in too many events. Keeping this. Looking good. Nice distribution, nice sources in hand. Altar of the Brood. Never really impressed with this card. We'll see how it does against us this time, but yeah. Just really never impressed with Altar of the Brood. It does feed our treasure cruise. Something to keep in mind. Oh, it technically feeds our Warden of the Eye, but not when it puts Warden of the Eye in the graveyard. Bondkin versus Seeker of the Way. Well, Seeker's going to be better if I draw... I feel like he's just got Morph next turn regardless, so let's just drop the Seeker. Although, I guess that would have been a better... Well, I was going to say it'd be a better argument for the Bondkin, but that might not even be necessarily true, because I'd still want to progress my board either way. Master Way is a very good draw. If I play the Bondkin now, what does that do for me? Not too terribly much. I'm going to play the Glacial Stalker and pass. I'm not going to run the Seeker of the Way into the Morph and tell it and like fake like I have something, because that could be extremely dangerous if he blocks. So let's just pass. I think my plan this game is basically just to, well, at least we're hitting a lot of lands, I guess, but he's hit a couple pretty reasonable spells too. But what was I saying? Oh, plan is just get the board up and then rush a battle at some point, I guess. That seems like it would work best. I don't think I managed to get any erases for my sideboard, which would be good against the secret plans. All right. Oh, well, all of our dreams have been crushed. There goes our treasure cruise. Well, maybe we'll get the Warden off the top and be able to bring it back. This attack doesn't make sense to me either. But I do appreciate it. Okay. Well, this is a good turn for us. We get to drop 2 creatures, so we'll definitely swing for the fences. I'll let him trade a Seeker for the Wind Scout or our Morph guy at this point. I'm just trying to get a bunch of dudes on board. It's like the most dangerous block he could do, to be honest. But, I mean, it did pan out for him, but definitely the most dangerous block I think he could do there. Because he's already seen I play the 5-2, so I think it was definitely would have been more beneficial for him to block our Morph guy. But I'm content with keeping the 4/5 that we can unmorph next turn, if need be. All right. So can't quite do the work I need to do on that Sagu Archer. And I can't quite swing in for the old Mardu Warshrieker value. Can't play Master of the Way yet. I think the plan is land, pass. We're going to unmorph the Stalker. I could also have outlast this turn, but I'd rather just get that morph mana out of the way. I can actually swing with our morph too, because it doesn't matter. It's how I'm gonna use my mana regardless. So he didn't block, so that's kind of cool. So we'll get in for our 4 damage. Then we'll pass, and I'll probably just Master the Way the Sagu Archer next turn. Guess it depends on what he plays here. I guess technically I could have just attacked in Warshrieker, but then I wouldn't have been able to unmorph my Stalker. Might have still been better if I wanted to rush a battle at some point. But then again, I can't really play spells right now because of the Master of the Way. Alright, so untap, Master of the Way on... Oh wait, I can't. I have to wait one more turn. Alright, well, let's just swing with the Stalker then. Can't even double block and kill it. So technically I could wait another turn. I think my plans changed a little bit now. I'm going to play out my hand a little bit instead. And the reason being because Rush of Battle is going to be really good shortly. So I'm going to play Warshrieker, Outlast here, and then Rush of Battle next turn is going to be really good, I think. So let's do this. Really? Disdainful Stroke, huh? All right. He got us. I admit I wasn't expecting that. I still really want to outlast this turn for Rush of Battle next turn. It's very important that we do. So I'm going to do that. It makes our Master of the Way much worse, but like I said, I kind of need that for next turn for when I Rush a Battle. It's really sad that Sagu Archer is holding us back so hard here. But he definitely is. So if I Rush a Battle, I swing Team. He's going to kill my Leaping Master. So it's almost like I can't swing with Leaping Master. Because he just kills it. Straight up. Costs him nothing. And I can't even give it flying in because it's just got reach. I want to kill his morph because he's going to get card draw. I guess the best play is this Rush of Battle swing. We get in for possibly enough where Master of the Way could finish the job. Or maybe he'll do some tactical blocking that I don't care too much about. All right, let's rush. And like I said, I can't even get in with Leaping Master because it's just a free kill for him, which does suck, but what can you do? I wanted that rush of battle to be about twice as good as it turned out to be. Turned out the War Shrieker just really fell short and failed for us. Not only did it get a card out of our hand, making Master of the Way cheaper, or worse, rather, we had to play another card to be able to outlast last turn. So that Disdainful Stroke screwed us pretty good. But then again, I guess the Disdainful Stroke would have countered Master of the Way, which would have been brutal as well. I kind of want him to just take it. He doesn't know we have burn spells, so I don't see why I mean, he definitely wants to keep his morph. He could probably ditch his parapet. Could also double block our Bondkin, but actually that doesn't work because I just first strike kill the archer. Or the morph, whatever I feel like. Probably the archer. Alright, I'm pretty surprised he blocked like that, since I feel like that's a good block for us. But I definitely accept. And we'll pass. So that morph is probably reasonably important for him. Still have a Warden that if we get it, we can play a 1-mana Treasure Cruise. Which is definitely going to mill us quite a bit, but at the same time, it's going to generate some nice card advantage for us as well. All right. Ooh, Defiant Strike. Yeah, so if this is the... That's actually just really nice. We can play both. So technically I could swing with the Leaping Master here. I mean, I don't know what it is the problem. He has 6 mana. He showed us 1,000 Winds last game and the Abomination. I'd like to believe it's the Abomination and not the 1,000 Winds. But I admit I'm not sure. I don't think your deck's bad. It was just kind of weird play that first game. I mean, I can Master the Way now, force him to unmorph. Do I like that, though? Because then I can still swing for 9. And it cantrips. I mean, he's definitely unmorphing this turn, if he can, but I don't know what he has. I feel like it's Abomination, in which case the Defiant Strike on the Bondkin is going to be brutal. Alright, I made up my mind. I'm just swinging these two. I'm going to presume it's the Abomination. Very easily could be something more harsh. Certainly more harsh. So, ended up just predicting wrong. Yeah, it didn't work out very well for me at all, to be honest. It's pretty bad. What can I say? That sucks, but I can't do anything about it. So I think that I Defiant Strike now, at this point, just get some more cards, because it just cantrips and replaces itself. I am going to kill his Glacial Stalker, which makes me unhappy, because I wanted to keep my Bondkin around, and I really wanted a Defiant Strike and kill his 3/4 flyer, but I predicted wrong, and he's getting a blowout here, and it sucks, but I'm going to accept it. See if we can't find something. I guess I could have saved that for next turn's block. Do I have to master the way as Glacial Stalker? I probably don't. But if I do, what does that do for me? It leaves him one blocker, leaves me a 4/5 that he's got to deal with. He's got 2 cards in hand. My other potential follow-up play is Alabaster Kieran, which would let me swing for 4 next turn with the Leaping Master, possibly setting up for a Master the Way. Master lets me see another card now, though, and get this off the board. I think I'm just going to Master the creature. All right, so I ended up predicting wrong, but it happens. All right, Singing Bell Strike's really not that bad here. It's a pretty strange attack with no follow-up play. Seems very strange. Especially since I can untap this. Well, guess we do that. Crippling Chill to draw a card after I attack. Very confused. Crippling Chill, even if he had done it on my guy before I attacked, would have been better for him, but it still would have been not that good since I can just pay to untap regardless. So that was just strange. Oh. All right, well, we're in pretty big trouble now, I guess. Surprisingly, I thought we had it all wrapped up, especially after the misplay after misplay, but so I guess we just die next turn, unfortunately. Oh wow, and and that's funny. Well, let's draw the Warden of the Eye, and then I guess we still can't win, but Maybe if we can survive. No, I don't draw the Warden anyway, so it doesn't matter. This is a pretty embarrassing loss. I definitely will admit that's pretty embarrassing. All right, well, very embarrassing loss. I hope we can win in game 3. Very, very embarrassing. I guess Warden wasn't coming for a little bit. Oh, I forgot to look at his revealed cards. Yeah, that was just really weird that I lost that game. I'm very surprised. Maybe Smite's better than I gave it credit for now. Let me think about that. Only Pearl Lake Ancient and his 5/6 dude. And actually his 4/5/2. Yeah, that's enough. We'll ditch the Bring Low for the Smite. Smite's an upgrade, in my opinion. All right, let's try this again. Hopefully win. All right, playing first, and unfortunately I have to mulligan. And we'll keep this, although it's a pretty bad hand. No red source for our 2 source, so this hand could get horrible, horrible, horrible for us, but could also be very, very good, depending on what we draw. So hopefully we draw one of our 8 red sources in at least the next couple turns. That's all we can hope for. Not exactly the opener I was hoping for in game 3. Alter the Brood, okay. Hope he doesn't mill a mountain. Hey. Well, perfect draw. So that worked out. We have the Warden this time to actually benefit from his Alter the Brood, which, by the way, I just want to remind you, it did nothing but help us that entire game. Keep that in mind. We still lost, but Alter the Brood did nothing but benefit us that entire game. We had that entire game to draw a Warden of the Eye and get back something from our graveyard, like an Arrow Storm. So I really just don't like this card in general, but certainly don't like it against us if I were him. But what can I say? I'm happy he's playing Alter the Brood right now when I've got Warden of the Eye to get stuff back. Although Milling Seeker was pretty good for him. Ooh, Defiant Strike would have been not too shabby either. All right, well, finally something to bring back with Warden, I guess, but ooh, it's a pretty sexy draw. No green source from our opponent yet, something important to keep in mind. He's making the trade, interesting. I definitely like him making that trade since Highspire Mantis could trade with Wind Scout if he has any instant speed spell. Alright. Morph, we get milled again. Glacial Stalker. It's alright. He's hit all spells, so land seems like we hit a lot of that. So we could play Warden here, but it doesn't actually seem worth it. I think we just swing Arrow Storm him, follow up with a Warden the next turn to get back Arrow Storm. And we could potentially make some pretty quick work of him. Could also have Disdainful Stroke at some point, but we're just going to start going for the face here. All right. Gets to see our hand. Just missing land drops as well, so able to capitalize pretty nicely here. So we'll get back our Aerostorm, and he is dead next turn unless he's got Disdainful Stroke. I honestly don't even have to play the Aerostorm. At this point I can safely play around Disdainful Stroke and not even be at risk of anything at all. I can just ride down whatever he blocks with, keep the beats going. He has to tap out at some point, so I'm just going to play around Disdainful Stroke. Why does he doesn't, I should just tell him. Usually I don't tell people how to play when we're still in the game, but that's the second time he's done it. All right, well, pretty obviously playing Aerostorm now. I think the guy's just new to Magic, maybe, or not new to Magic, sorry, new to Magic Online. That would explain some of the weird plays we've seen from him. Hopefully that little tidbit I told him helps him in future matches. But Archer again. All right. So yeah, I'm glad that we managed to win. His deck was fine for the most part. I actually didn't have any super big issues with his deck. The only one is Alter the Brood. And you basically have to play with Alter the Brood to see why it's not a good card. But other than that, yeah, everything else seemed fine. So we'll see you round 2.